The Discerning Minds virtual event coming up this Friday and Saturday, March 26th, March 27th. Guess what? I will be talking about, drumroll please, the whole UFO phenomenon. It is real, it is burgeoning, and it's not going away. It's time for you to wake up if you're not already awake and understand that this is being rolled out. So we've shown these pictures before. This is from the film Countdown to Disclosure. This is the picture I got. Is it taken from a film? It could be. The gentleman who gave it to me has not replied to any emails, so I'm starting to be a little suspect. And that's what I received. So there is a slight discrepancy. We can see this little object down here on the bottom, which is not in this photograph. Moving on. And I've shown these before, but they're really very clear photographs. There's that tic-tac-shaped UFO heading into the water. So, this is all recent, okay? This is in the last day. Ex-UFO Pentagon program chief outlines compelling UFO theories and unique vehicle characteristics. Look, what these craft do, there is no propulsion system. As Bob Lazar stated years ago, and I agree with him in my opinion, and I'm basically echoing Mr. Lazar's, it works on a gravity wave. The craft is pulled along by this gravity wave, okay? So there is no propulsion, there is no jet fuel, there's no rotor wash, nothing like that. It's a gravity wave. The technology is so far advanced, it's mind-boggling. But this gravity wave pulls the craft. And this is why it can accelerate and basically go 50 miles in 2 seconds, and there is no G-force because the craft is being pulled because there is no gravity. It's essentially outside space-time as we know it. Very, very interesting. UFOs break the U.S.'s current understanding of the laws of physics, says Luis Elizondo. Elizondo was part of ATIP. It basically assessed the threat of so-called extraterrestrial vehicles, and now he's all over all media talking about this. So it's very, very interesting. This was incredible. Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe arrives to brief congressional leaders on Capitol Hill in Washington, July 2nd, 2020. Pentagon's report will contain more information on UFOs than previously made public. Look, they're rolling this thing out. I would talk to my elder brother, Gary Stearman, yesterday, and I said, hey, Gary, you got a minute? And he said, yeah, but you better make it fast because the rapture could be happening at any moment. Why would he say that? Because what we are seeing is the rise of lawlessness on a global level, which I've never seen. And that's for another show. But in the midst of all this, they're rolling out the UFO phenomenon. Remember, just a few years ago, if you talked about this, you were a conspiracy theorist, you wore your tinfoil hat. I always wore mine proudly. I've been banging this drum, folks, for 30 years. My presentation over the weekend will be on the UFO phenomenon and how we are at the 6th rung of the disclosure ladder. It's happening. It's like right in front of your face. Here it is. Pentagon's report will contain more information on UFOs than previously made public. Look, folks, you got to understand that this is happening. This is what Ratcliffe says. Frankly, there are a lot more sightings that have been made public. Some of those have been declassified. And when we talk about sightings, we are talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots or have been picked up by satellite imagery that frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain. Movements that are hard to replicate, that we don't have the technology for, or traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom. How was that possible? Why? Because around the craft, because of the gravity wave, there is no space-time, as far as, in my opinion. Now, Lazar might differ with that, but this is why when they're moving at excess of, well beyond hypersonic, there is no sound boom because they're being pulled by the gravity wave. And in that gravity wave, there is no space-time as we know it. This is from the same article. Ratcliffe said that some UFO sightings have been declassified in the past, but a report to be released by the Pentagon and other federal agencies will present more information to the American people. Quote, there have been sightings all over the world, end of quote, Ratcliffe said. And when we talk about sightings, the other thing I will tell you, it's not just a pilot or just a satellite or some intelligence collection. Usually we have multiple sensors that are picking up these things. This is from a friend of the show, He's in one of the alphabet agencies. We call him the Osprey here. He says this, talk to an inside guy in D.C. Biden did not drive the release of UFO data. Was being prepared months ago. Little to do with White House staff. They did not time it. What we're looking at here, of course, is the deep state, in my opinion, the shadow government, in my opinion, and this information is being released. Why now? Something is about to happen here, folks. You got to understand, something is about to happen. Anyway, Marco Rubio talks to TMZ about UFOs and the possibility of alien life. There's stuff flying over military installations. We talk about that in our Watchers series. Go watch Watchers 10. It'll blow your mind. Or Watchers 7, which is we won the best UFO film award. The director of the series, Richard Shaw, my business partner, and myself, George Norrie, presented us with that award. It was a red letter day for me. But look, the bottom line is, here's Marco Rubio, Senator Rubio, telling us what? Talking about UFOs. It's happening from multiple sources all over the media, with our government. Something is about to be revealed. At some point, and I think it's going to happen very soon, more than likely it will be released on Fox News' Tucker Carlson show. Because so far, that's where a lot of the information has come from. At some point, they're going to show color footage of some crashed disc. I'm predicting that it will be Roswell. I could be wrong in this. I think it will be the Roswell crash. They'll have some guy from the Pentagon, maybe Elizondo. Yes, here's the film. Here's the disc. We did retrieve alien bodies. One of them was alive. Something like that. That's what's next. So right now, what we get is statements like this from Marco Rubio, statements like this from John Ratcliffe and others, but other than the tic-tac-shaped UFO, we're not seeing a lot, but we're going to. And I think it's going to happen sooner than later. Anyway, folks, episode 7 is almost at the duplicators, probably another week. So I'm hoping mid-April. Third week of April, we'll be shipping. You can get $5 off by going to lamarzulli.net, lamarzulli.net for the hard copy. It will be up on our streaming site. You can watch all 6 of the On the Trail of the Nephilim series by going to streaming.lamarzulli.net. That's streaming.lamarzulli.net. Folks, that's all the time we have for, and by the way, if you're interested, look, this is the book. People email me all the time. LA, I watch your show and I'm not sure which book to get. Get this one. This is the most recent one, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed. By the way, my interview with George Norrie is now up on Gaia. It was great to sit down with George. Of course, it's on the On the Trail of the Nephilim series. Thanks so much for watching Politics, Prophecy, and the Supernatural Report. Remember, we'll see you on the air or in the air.